Hi guys and good morning. My name is Stella and welcome to my channel. So today's video was originally going to be about how to optimize your social media profile, in particular how to optimize your Instagram profile. But I have since seen some other things. As you know, I'm a social media manager and I spend most of my day on social media, which means I see all of the things. So the other day I was on Instagram and I witnessed something that I couldn't wrap my mind around. Like I was dumbfounded. So I'm gonna leave names out of this just because it's not matter who it was, it's more of the moral of the story. So I follow this guy that I used to know. Well, I do know, but I networked with a while ago, and he posted a side-by-side of his work and a competitor's work with the same client and kind of slung it through the mud. So, and then the client kind of came back and was upset and offended. I mean, obviously. And then his competitor came back and was upset and offended. And it was this whole thing. And what that kind of brought to my mind was that maybe people just don't know. Maybe people just don't know that as a business owner, you can't do that. You can't sling your competitors through the mud. You can't call out your clients because they worked with somebody else or whatever. If your feelings get hurt, be really careful on how you handle yourself because it's just unprofessional. So today I'm kind of going to talk about what exactly is being professional on social media. What does that, because it's a little different, right? Because social media is kind of its own beast, so it's a little different than being like professional in like an office or professional over the phone or through emails. So to think over that, because maybe it's not common knowledge. I was raised by extremely professional people, so maybe what I assume to be common knowledge isn't actually common knowledge. So anywho, so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about being professional on social media, what that means and what that looks like. So some people just assume because it is social media and because it's a general, like, it's kind of like the wild west of how you carry yourself. It's all about how you want to put yourself out there. There aren't there's some basic rules, but there aren't very many rules for what you put out there and what you say. And so the most important thing to remember as a business owner, anything you put out there on your personal or private pages, your business pages, is Googleable. No matter if you have the best privacy settings, someone out there could find it. So when even if you delete it, someone out there can find it. So when you're going through and you're posting and you're in your feelings and you're upset and you're saying things that maybe aren't the best, that's not good. So my number one tip, and what I tell all my clients if they're writing their own content, is speak and act as if your dream client or your biggest client is watching you, because you never know, they could be. So keep your things like you're upset because another client worked with somebody else and it hurt your feelings, it was bad work. Okay, don't put that out there, because now it looks unprofessional on you. So now you're losing clients. You've lost that client, the client that you put out there. You're losing credibility in your circle, in your niche, because you're dragging people through the mud. You're losing potential clients because nobody wants that drama. And they say, okay, well, what if I do something that this person doesn't like? Will they drag me through the mud? So just avoid that. It's okay to be entitled to your feelings, but you don't want to call people out. You can do posts about, I had a friend that kind of screwed me over, and so I wrote a post about keeping my circle of friends people I can really trust, keeping my circle of friends tight. Now, if that friend who screwed me over reads that, they're probably going to think it's about them, and they would be right. You know, it was stemmed from what the interaction I had with that person, but I'm not calling them out. I'm not attaching their picture to it. So it's okay to express your feelings and how you feel about things on social media, but the way you do it is extremely important. If you have trouble with kind of like deciphering what you should post, or you know, how to convey certain things without looking unprofessional, then hire somebody who can either run your social media, who can consult with you, who can do all these things with you. But avoid just calling people out. It's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look. That's not what you want your potential clients to see. That is not what you want potential investors to see, potential collaborations to see. You want to always be putting your best foot forward, and that is how you grow a reliable brand. Always putting your best foot forward, always doing your best, always saying your best, remaining positive, remaining professional. And even if you're sharing the sadder things in life, or some of your struggles, still remain professional, still remain respectable. You want to be somebody that's the whole point, is people want to work with you. So you need to remain somebody people want to work with, and calling people out on social media is not how you do that. So do I suggest, covering up all your feelings? No. Do I suggest not posting about things that upset you? No. Just in summary, no. But what I suggest is, when you're posting, first of all, I never post about something right after it happened. I write all of my content a week in advance. And when I'm writing my content, I write what's on my heart. I write what I think needs to be shared. But it's not immediate. I write in advance. So a good way to avoid making sure you're not being crazy is write your content in advance. For me personally, I send my content and I send my content to my editor. My editor reads it, goes with whatever, checks for any errors or whatever, and sends it back to me. And then I read it again before I post it. So at this point, it's being read at least 3 times. When I write it, when my editor reads it over for errors, and when I post it. So all 3 of those times, you want to make sure this is what I want to put forward for my brand. This is going to help me grow. This is useful to my audience, because after all, that's what our social medias are for being helpful and offering useful information to our audiences. And it's really easy to get caught up. It's really easy to say, oh, well, it's my page, I can post what I want. But although that is true for regular people, that's not true for us, because you never know what's going to come up and bite you in the butt. So I hope that you found this useful, and if you don't mind, just subscribe at the bottom if you want to hear more from me. I post every Wednesday, around about, sometimes Thursday, just depending. And let me know what you guys want to hear about. Next week, we're going to talk about optimizing Instagram profiles for searchability. So, thanks.